So I'm curious what the strategy is going to be, because the thing about the Eagles, you obviously can't stack the box. You can't play an extra linebacker instead of a defensive back because you have two great wide receivers and you have a tight end out there. And then Saquon has these big blow up runs second half. And I was looking at snap percentage, and the Packers starters are really high snap percentage. They're not rotating guys in. So that would lead me to think that the Eagles are going to have that advantage in the second half, running the ball.
I guess if it were me, I would probably have a little bit more help in the secondary and cross my fingers and hope that my defensive line could get some sort of push. Pick your poison. Philly pride and Sistad's all, Andrew rapping NY Bulls. Together they talk sports and dreams, right behind the scenes. It seems Philly's NY, hear the call, who's the greatest, who will fall with this rivalry. Now it's clear, join the chat, it's time to cheer. Sports and culture all in one, catch the fire, feel the fun. Andrew, Sistad, glad unite, Philly NY in the spotlight.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 21. Today we have to get to the NFL playoffs. The Eagles are in wild card round against the Packers. The Jets and Giants we're going to discuss. They're not in. Breaking news. We'll talk about the Jets and Giants. Giants status quo, keeping the GM the coach. The Jets are chaotic. Who knows what they're going to do? We'll discuss. We're going to preview the Eagles-Packers game in pretty good detail. Get a feel for how you're feeling. We're going to talk about what's going on from a TV fan viewership perspective with MSG Network and Optimum. For those Optimum Knicks, Rangers, Islanders, Devils fans, they don't have MSG. So we'll discuss that, what's going on with that, what are the resolutions, what are your options. We can get into that. We're not going to mock New York fans on Twitter, but we do have extra subscriber questions for this episode. All right. So let's get right into it. Let's talk Eagles, Packers.
Are you going to wish people a Happy New Year, man? Come on.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Do you wish people a Happy New Year still?
Yeah, I think so. I think once you get like
January
halfway
6th.
through, I think you have halfway through January before you can stop.
Halfway through January?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. Yes.
Merry Christmas. Is that okay still? Halfway through January.
Well, technically,
I'm not even sure if we should be wishing people a Happy New Year the day January 1st. It's just such a silly thing. This Happy New Year. What?
Oh my God! You're just not a holiday guy. Except for Thanksgiving, you're just not a holiday guy.
I can appreciate the value in holidays. But I'm not a holiday guy. I think if you really like the biggest thing that people say to me about holidays when I'm like not hating on them but just downplaying them is, oh well, it's great time, opportunity to see your family and friends. If you really wanted to see them. Why do you need a date on the calendar to dictate when you see people? You see the people you want to see when you see them.
I don't think there's okay. That's fair. But the one thing that you could say about, and I know you don't celebrate Christmas, but like Christmas, everyone's off that day. So like, yeah, you don't have an excuse to not get together, I guess.
Sure. Okay. Most people are off Sundays.
Yeah, I guess so. Weekends are so busy though, man. Anyway, not a New Year guy. Happy New Year, everyone. From me, not from Andrew.
We're past the cutoff of Happy New Year. Okay. Way past it.
All right.
At least, January 3rd. Done.
Okay. Side note, real quick. This has nothing to do with any of our topics. This is just a general thing. So it's snowing out. Did you get any snow today?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I have a real big pet peeve that people do in the snow. Oh my, yeah.
Is this the shopping? You go to the store and you get like 100 things?
No. So I wonder.
Okay.
I hope that you're not one of these people. I think you might be. So if I offend you, I'm sorry.
I'm not going to be offended. Are you
I
kidding?
I I can't stand when people put the windshield wipers up on their car in anticipation
No, I don't
for
do that.
snow.
Are you
Dude,
serious?
I can't, I don't know why that bothers me so much, dude. But it's just
Why
like
did you think I would do that?
I
That's
don't know.
hilarious.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
But
think it's
like
more offensive that you thought that I might do that.
I I didn't know, dude. No, but like I think it's like what do you think you're like
Oh, dude.
outsmarting everybody? Like
You're
go
outsmarting the snow.
no. Go start your car 20 minutes before you have to leave. You warm your car up, you put the defrosters on, and you put the windshield wipers on, and you're good. Like these people, it's like,
Yeah, so
what do you think you are? I hate that. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but I really hate it.
yeah, I mean, I don't do that. And I think it's silly. It doesn't bother me that people do it. But so back when I was renting in Clifton, we were in it was like a 3 or 4 family.
I remember that place.
Oh yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
So we had this really nice neighbor. She lived in the apartment across the hall. She would do that to our cars. She would get home, know it's about to snow, and think that she's helping us.
No way. Oh my god. Oh, that is great. That is
Yeah.
like a Larry David type thing. Like a situation
It's such a
that Larry would
ridiculous
find himself in.
concept that
Yeah.
it's such a ridiculous concept that like it's such a terrible thing that you have to like get the snow off your car and they're stuck. I don't
Well,
understand
not even
it.
that. Like, aren't you people warming up your car anyway? Like, you don't just jump in the car and go when there's
What's the
snow.
reason? Why do people do that?
They
What's
do
the
it
reason?
because the wipers will freeze to the windshield, and then when you go to turn
That's
them
why
on,
they do it?
they're not going to move.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they,
yeah.
potentially they can break.
Yeah.
But again, you start your car, you put the defroster on, you let it warm up, and then by the time you get in the car, it's melted. So your windshield wipers will just work as if there was rain on your windshield, and everything is fine.
Do you warm your car for 20 minutes before you leave?
I do. It depends. I have one. My beach truck is like it's we don't really use it that much, so I pretty much will let that run for 20 minutes. Like even in the summertime, I'll just let it. Like it's good. I don't know. My dad's like pretty old school. Like always tells you to warm the car up, like no matter the temperature outside. But yeah, definitely like specifically
Does it
in
like
the
to protect the
wintertime,
car
of
or
course.
something?
Yeah, I guess it's just good to. I don't know. I guess it's just good to get
It's
all
probably not true
the
in new cars.
fluids running.
It may have been true like a long time ago. I
Yeah,
assume on the modern cars, it probably doesn't really matter. I would
yeah.
imagine.
But in the snow, like yeah, I'm absolutely warming it up. I mean, I'm not just gonna
But do you
go
have
and
like the auto like you could start it from like the house?
I do. I actually have that on the beach truck I was just telling you about. Not on my daily driver. On Jenna's daily driver, we have one of those, which is nice.
That I see. Like, why wouldn't you do that? But to go out to warm up, this just seems like just go in and start driving. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if there's snow on it, like in that case, you have to let it
To
warm
get the
up.
melt the snow off. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Plus, like you don't want to go. You don't want to get in your car
Yeah,
and
you're
it's
talking to
freezing.
someone who hasn't like had a job where like they had to leave. He had to like I haven't had to leave. Like if it snows, there's a lot of snow in my car, I just don't leave.
Oh God.
So it's not. It's changed my schedule for the
Yeah.
day.
Okay. All right.
That's why it's hard for me. I have to remind myself that people actually have to leave.
Well, maybe next year when there's a New Year's party that you have to go to, and we get a big snowstorm, we'll have to revisit this conversation.
Yeah, we'll revisit it.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
I'm gonna throw a New Year's party next year for the
No,
sole
you're not.
purpose of inviting you, and it's gonna
You're
snow.
definitely not, though.
Okay. Oh, we'll see.
You're not. I know you're not.
Okay.
No, do you even stay up? Do you even? Well, hold. Yeah, you don't stay up to midnight, do you? No. Why would you?
Fuck no,
At
dude.
least
No
you
way.
don't. That would be ridiculous if you
No.
won't stay up for sports events, but you'll stay up for some stupid
No.
ball.
If I had energy, I would, but like, yeah, no, I'm not. Definitely not.
All right, let's preview the Eagles-Packers.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. What do you want to talk about random stuff for 45 minutes to an hour? We could probably do that.
We definitely could, but let's this is a big important game, man. So
We're
let's get
gonna
into it.
title it Eagles-Packers preview, and then people are gonna just watch us talking about windshield wipers.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. Eagles-Packers, 2 seed, 7 seed. Eagles 14-3. Packers 11-6. Eagles go into this game coming off a blowout win over the Cowboys, a nice win over the Giants with they benched 18 of their starters. The Packers are struggling a little bit. They end the season on 2 losses. Where are you at here? Confidence-wise, nervousness-wise? I mean, the Packers, even though they struggled down the stretch of the season, they're a really good team. This is a really, obviously not, it's not ideal to be facing a really good offense with a good quarterback, 11-6 in the wild card round. So how are you feeling about this?
So I'm feeling fairly confident, I would say. Obviously, these two teams met way back in week 1, which feels like a year ago at this point.
Oh, that means nothing. Yeah,
right. No, it means nothing. I think that the Eagles have gotten a lot better since then, specifically defensively. And I think the Packers have kind of weren't as good as advertised as a lot of people thought they were going to be coming into the season. I feel.
I think people were jumping the gun with them.
Absolutely, yeah. Because it's interesting because last year, they started off really poorly. Like people don't really remember that, and then they got really hot towards the end of the year, and then everybody remembers them just kicking the shit out of Dallas wild card weekend. And then the next week they almost beat San Francisco in San Francisco. So everybody kind of crowned them as they were coming up next. They were going to be the new exciting up and coming team that everybody jumped on. A lot of people did, and they had a really good season still. I've got a good friend who's a Packers fan who watches every snap, and he said they're not quite there yet. They're like another year away. You certainly see flashes, like they'll put together a really good quarter, really good half, but they haven't really played a full 60 minutes of football yet. And it shows. Like a lot of their wins, like you mentioned, they kind of stumbled across the finish line here, had some pretty bad losses. Just lost to the Bears yesterday in a game that they tried to win. Also barely beat the Bears. Remember the Bears missed a 39-yard field goal a few weeks back, or maybe a month or so ago at this point. But not really a ton of impressive wins for them, I would say. So they have some talent. I'd say Jordan Love, pretty inconsistent. Like he does make some special throws, but he misses a lot of guys too. Like if you go back and watch some of their games, he's not. Again, I think specifically after that Cowboys playoff game, like everybody they just crowned him as the next guy.
Yeah, they anointed him. Yep.
Right. Exactly. Anointed. That was the word I was looking for. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I could have picked anyone. I guess maybe I'd rather play Washington. But yeah, I think I'm feeling fairly confident. Packers are dealing with a couple of key players who are injured right now. Watson got carted off, looked pretty bad.
ACL.
That was confirmed. Yeah, so he's a really big part of their offense. When he
hasn't been this year though. He's been out.
He's been hurt, right? So perhaps that's why they've had some struggles that they've had, because he again, I think he's a really good player when he's out there, and he's a really big part of their offense. So should be interesting. Yeah, I think the Eagles are healthy. I think the only player that's really right. Yeah, we could talk about that. But the only player who theoretically, and I wouldn't even consider this player a starter, but Brandon Graham is like the only guy who's not going to be available for them.
So Bryce Huff's back?
Bryce Huff is back. Bryce Huff was playing deep into the fourth quarter with the rest of the third and fourth stringers.
I didn't watch the game at all.
Yeah, against the Giants yesterday. So he's back. He was invisible again. Whatever. I don't think we can really expect much from him. But yeah, the Hurts thing. I mean, Jalen Hurts still has not
That's the
cleared
big thing.
concussion protocol, which is starting to get a little worrisome at this point. He got hurt 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago against Washington. Didn't really look that bad. He didn't even wobble or anything. It looked like he was ready to come back in the game, but yeah, obviously he didn't play the next week against Dallas. He didn't play yesterday, but he was never going to play anyway. So we'll see. I think Wednesday is
No,
the
he
day.
wouldn't have played, but he would have if he was cleared for. If he was out of concussion protocol, he's out of concussion protocol.
Yes,
he's still in. I mean,
yeah,
it's not like they're keeping him there so they don't play him.
Yeah, I did read a report that said that all signs point to that he should be good to go for Sunday. So I don't know. They're also the coach is very, very, very much into the any competitive advantage he can get. He will milk that.
This isn't a competitive advantage thing. This is you're out of concussion protocol. Or you're not. This is a medical thing. You're not keeping a guy in concussion protocol to trick your competition. That's not happening here.
Okay. Well, yeah. Hopefully he is not in concussion protocol by Wednesday's practice. I don't think he will be, but if he is, then yeah, I mean that's a pretty scary thing, pretty huge loss. Although apparently they've got two backup quarterbacks who are pretty capable. But this game is going to come down to a lot of.
I think they could move with Kenny Pickett anyway.
I do too. I do too. He was really good. I was actually at that game that he started against Dallas, and he was really good. Yeah, he was really good.
You know where Kenny Pickett's from?
I do.
My hometown.
I know. There's actually a sign out in front. There's on the border of Ocean and Asbury. It's like a sign that says "Welcome to Ocean Gate" or Ocean.
Oh, yeah. I think you told me about that.
It says "Home of NFL quarterback Kenny Pickett." He grew up a big Eagles fan too.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
That works out.
Yeah, so I think they could win the game with Pickett. He actually played pretty well in that Cowboys game. And then the third string guy came in, Tanner McKee. He played really well, and he was really good yesterday too. But I think, the biggest thing is going to be, can they get Barkley going, and can they stymie the Packers offense, which I think they can. Defense has been awesome. They had that one really bad game against Washington a couple weeks ago, which even in that game, they turned Washington over 5 times. They just couldn't get a stop when they needed in the fourth quarter. You like their chances. They're at home. I think they're the better team. I think they're the healthier team. I think they are playing better at this point in the season.
I agree.
And I think that they could play with anybody right now. So, although the Packers are a little bit scary, I think that they should win the game. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think. Okay, actually, let me take a step back. What are your thoughts? So Jordan Love had that that injury. He fell on his elbow, hurt his hand. He said that he landed on his elbow and his hand went numb. And post game, his hand was still numb. But they're all saying he's expecting to play.
Yeah, I saw that too. It sounded like it was like when you hit your funny bone, your elbow really hard, and
but that seemed like it lasted a long time.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, if he's unable to play, then I would feel much better about the Eagles' chances. I don't think it's going to be anything, but something to monitor for sure.
Even if he's playing, and
is the big blow for them, and they also they're going to be missing Jair Alexander too. So couple key players.
Yeah, Eagles are minus 210 money line. At least the last time I checked I was on FanDuel, and they're minus 4.5.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the game? You are rooting for the Eagles, so we can continue to produce content.
I'm betting on the Eagles for that reason.
Wow.
Yeah, for that reason. I want to root for them, so I got to bet on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we need them.
We need them. We need them
The
desperately.
podcast needs the Eagles because
Yes.
the Jets and the Giants.
Well, and your co-host would just be a depressed sack of
Well,
dirt.
that's
if they...
fun for one episode.
Yes.
Yeah. Then it gets just horrible. But
I'll get over it. I'll get over it within a week's time. If they lose.
they're gonna when they lose. When. So that's the key word here. When, not if.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
All right.
When they lose, you're gonna be. It's gonna be something.
Yeah, I'll be certainly bummed out for sure.
Yeah. I'm sorry. If they lose.
If they lose, that's right.
They may not lose.
They might not. I don't think they will. Well, at least this game, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens from there.
Oh wow!
I don't. Oh, I don't. I don't think that they're going to lose this game, and then we'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You should be. Okay. I think they're going to win this game also.
Okay, good.
But when you said that, I thought you were saying they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, they might. I think
yeah, but I was taken aback by your confidence.
Oh no, I'm not like overly confident. I'll tell you what. If they, I've been saying this for a long time, and I don't mean to jump ahead, but if things shake out like the way that they are expected to, the next opponent for the Eagles would likely be Tampa Bay, who terrifies me. I fucking hate Tampa Bay. They seem to have the Eagles number, and they just isn't it insane?
Let's not go there
yet.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's not worth going there yet. It's not worth going there yet. Eagles need to win. Tampa needs to win.
You're right.
And other things need to happen, right?
That would pretty much do it. Because the winner of the 4-5 game, in theory, that they would be the lower seed. Because the Eagles would have beat the 7th. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think watching the Packers down the stretch of the season, I think they do a couple things. One, they struggle in the first quarter of games. Secondly, they turn the ball, but much more than the Eagles. Much more than the Eagles.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. Secondly, they turn the ball over. And the Eagles don't really turn the ball over that much. The Eagles force turnovers. By the way, what's going on? What's the shirt you're wearing?
This is just an old shirt.
That's Embiid, right?
It's Embiid and James Harden. Embiid is holding a Philly pretzel, and James Harden is holding a cheesesteak.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
How do you not get it? Philly pretzels and Philly cheesesteaks. They played for the Philadelphia 76ers.
It's a shirt mocking them that they're lazy and fat. I don't know.
No, that's actually kind of funny. It might be, but I think it's just an homage to Philadelphia foods.
Real Philly players,
Yeah.
Represent.
It might be though, because that is one of the big knocks on them is that they're always kind of out of shape.
I know, especially Harden when he was trying to get traded, and he all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I really do like the Eagles in this game. I think the Packers. I even think this hand thing for Love is being downplayed.
Really?
To me, it seems like maybe he's going to be susceptible to re-injuring it. I don't know. It's just weird that, you said, it's like hitting your funny elbow and it going numb. When we do that happens for it's numb for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He was saying post game that it was still numb.
Yeah. And
there's something else going on
in
there.
The second quarter. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not normal.
Yeah, but
he's probably fine to play.
The line would be much. Okay, I see what you're saying. I think the line. He's
going to play.
Bigger.
I'm just thinking that. No, I think this is going. I could be completely off base here. I mean, I haven't observed his elbow or hand. I just think that seems a little strange to me.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's acting like it's nothing.
Definitely does. Anything in particular about the game that interests you? Like any matchup? The one thing that I think that the Eagles will do a much better job of this time around. The line. Okay, and this is all just obviously we'll see how it plays out, but the defensive line has been playing so much better over the past really since that Tampa Bay game back in September. But if you remember early in the season, that was my biggest complaint was this defensive line is getting no pressure. There's no pass rush at all. And specifically in that Brazil game, the field was an ice rink. Everybody, the conditions were so slippery that nobody could get traction, specifically like edge guys. So that should be a lot better. And I believe it was Romeo Dobbs killed them that game. And he mostly plays out of the slot. And since then, Cooper DeJean has stepped into their slot role after the Tampa Bay game where their defense got really good. They inserted Cooper DeJean into the slot, and that was the only thing, but that really shored up the secondary. And everybody has been playing really well since then. So I think the line will be better. I think the secondary will be better. And the Eagles were not good in that game. That was, essentially a preseason game for them, it seemed like. But a lot of turnovers. It's another thing. I think they turned the ball over 4 times in that game, 3 or 4 times. And as of lately, they've just been a lot safer, a lot cleaner with the ball. And the defense has been playing a lot better. So that's why I feel fairly confident.
My thought is this.
Yeah, what was yours?
What? So the Packers, if they're game planning for the Eagles, right? When their game plan has to be to shut down Saquon.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious what the strategy is going to be, because the thing about the Eagles, you obviously can't stack the box. You can't play an extra linebacker instead of a defensive back because you have 2 great wide receivers and you have a tight end out there. You really have a third good receiver. Dotson's looked pretty good recently.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious what they're going to do to stop the run, to stop Saquon, and specifically, like we've talked about, the Eagles wear teams down, right? And then Saquon has these big blow up runs, second half, third quarter, fourth quarter. I was trying to figure out, I was looking into the Packers' depth, because some teams have, like the Niners have been known for this over the years. The Jets, before Robert Saleh he was fired, and rotating a lot of defensive linemen in. And I was looking at snap percentage, and the Packers starters are really high snap percentage. They're not rotating guys in. So that would lead me to think that the Eagles are going to have that advantage in the second half, running the ball. I'm just curious what the Packers are going to do, because there's not that many. You can't stack the box. You can't play extra linebackers over defensive backs.
Yeah, I don't know. It's specifically with with the injury to Alexander. I don't know. I think that you can't leave your backup corner out on an island with either AJ or Devontae. So I don't know. But then I don't know. I guess if it were me, I would probably have a little bit more help in the secondary and cross my fingers and hope that my defensive line could get some sort of push. Pick your poison, but yeah, specifically again, backup corner is going to be destroyed by either one of those guys. So,
I agree.
I would take my chances. The defensive line's pretty good. I mean, like you said, they play a lot of snaps, but they still have some talent on the defensive line. So that would be my strategy.
Packers as a team, their run stop win rate was 7th in the NFL this year.
Yeah, so there you go.
I like the Eagles. I'm going to be betting on the Eagles, but I'm going to be betting money line in a parlay. I don't take 4.5. That's
it's ridiculous.
If anything, I would buy 2 points and go -2.5. I like that.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't take 4.5.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
I like it.
Well, I love it. We're in agreement.
We're gonna have to do some. We're gonna have to do an exclusive Eagles episode at some point here. Whether it's after the game, whether it's early next week, we're gonna get some exclusive Eagles special bonus episodes out. It's a fun time.
Fun time.
You know how spoiled you are as an Eagles fan?
If they win, I do, and I really appreciate it. If they do win, then yeah, why don't we just do next week's episode as that? Because there's not, regular season NBA, NHL, like we could dedicate a whole episode to reacting to a playoff game and then previewing the next one. That would be a good way to do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk. Actually, no. There's one more thing about this game I want to talk about.
Oh God.
4:30 on Sunday. Now, there's 5 games. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to touch on the rest of the games a little bit. There's 5 games, right?
6 games.
Sorry. Wait. Sorry. There's
6
games.
Mm-hmm. Super wild card weekend, man.
Because I forgot about Monday night.
Mm-hmm. Which is, don't get me started on that, dude. How ridiculous is that, dude? How fucking
Wait, hold on. I want to get you started.
Monday night playoff game. I mean, come on, dude.
Wait. The only reason you have an issue with that is because you don't stay up past 9 o'clock. Most people like that.
No. Nobody likes it. People in California like it. No.
I like it. Nuts. Yeah, I do. I don't want a Saturday 1 o'clock game.
You don't?
No.
Oh, dude. I think you're nuts. And also, how unfair is it for now you're on short rest going up against your next playoff opponent? That sucks. And you're most likely going on the road. So that's not fair.
It's one extra day because they'll play on Sunday.
Yeah. I hate it. We don't have to go
one extra day.
I am firmly entrenched in the
you don't like it because
you
hate it because you don't stay up for Monday Night Football.
Right. Yes.
That's why you don't like it. That's fine.
Of course.
But
and
don't get you started on how ridiculous the whole thing is. Dude. If you were in a higher up executive position in the NFL, you would be like, let's not do this. This is a bad idea.
Maybe. Yes, I would say. I would say people want to go to bed on a Monday night. Let's not make them stay up till 11:30 to watch the playoff game.
You obviously know a Monday night game is going to get better ratings than a Saturday 1 o'clock.
Of course I do. Of course.
Yeah, so that's the obvious reason. So
of course, but I don't have to like it.
But it's not a terrible thing.
Well, it is terrible. Okay. For those of us who want to go to bed, it's terrible.
No, but forgetting about the business side, I'm not. There's some value in saying we should care about the fans over money in a short term because long term it's better for our business if we keep fans happy or the customer happy. The thing is, the fact that the ratings are higher shows that fans rather watch Monday night. So you're doing it for the fans and making more money. It's like a win-win. Why wouldn't you do that? You just can't watch.
I can't watch. No, I can't. I watched it last year because the Eagles were in it, and it was awful. And it was 11:30, and they got
ends at like 11:30.
Yeah, that sucks.
What time do you wake up? What do you 10 hours of sleep? What time do you wake up in the morning? 4 a.m.
It depends. Sometimes I wake up at 4 a.m. Yeah.
What do you do? When do you typically wake up?
Typically, probably 5 or 5:30. But I would say 2 to 3 days a week I go to the gym. I wake up at 4.
And you prefer, how much sleep do you like to get?
I like 8 hours. Like I actually super cranky if I don't get 8 hours of sleep.
I think at your schedule, you just have to change your body. You got to change your habits. 12 to 5 hours.
Yeah. I would not survive, dude. I'd be way too cranky.
Well, you get used to it. You train, I'm not saying you should, but you would train your mind and your body and you get used to it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, okay. All right. So you don't like the Monday Night Football
Hate it.
game for a Super Wild Card weekend or a Super
Mm-hmm.
Wild Card round, whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's 6 games. And out of all times, you've established on this pod that because of your situation with your 2 kids, watching sports between 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock is pretty much impossible for you.
That's
You
right.
can't do it.
Can't do it.
They get cranky.
Yeah, so I have tried. So I've said this before, both on the pod and just to friends. Because people want to hear what I have to say. I guess they get a kick out of me losing my mind via text messages during games. So I haven't been doing that as much lately because a lot of the games I'm not watching live.
Yeah, I do. I miss that. It's great. It's
You miss that,
it's very
right?
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, also I just want to get a feel for what you're thinking as it's going on, and I can't.
Yeah. You don't know when it's going through my head, but yeah. So believe me, I have tried to watch a game during those hours. It is just not. It's not even close to being doable or possible. So 2 children, close to one will be 4 next month. The other will be 2 in April. So it's just a very hard time specifically. My wife and I call it the witching hour because it is the perfect culmination of everyone is exhausted, tired from the day because they've been running around doing God knows what since 5:30 a.m. They don't really nap anymore, so they're exhausted. They are tired. They're hungry. They are fighting with each other. And then dinner time is nuts because this one won't eat what we made him, so we got to make something else, and it's just chaos. And then bath time is insane, and it's not like a nice calm bath. It's like, one of them's jumping around, they're splashing water, they're getting water everywhere. The other one's like dunking his head under. It's utter chaos, dude. From basically 4, maybe more like 5, but still, I'm not going to watch 30 minutes of a game and and stop it to do all that stuff. So yeah, it's a nightmare. It's impossible to watch. I do not want to DVR the games, but I have to for that exact reason, because I've tried to half pay attention to the game, and I just don't want to do that. Like, I want to get a feel.
No, I get that. It's a
for
big game. You want to be fully focused.
even if it's not a big game. Like, I want to see how the game unfolds. I want to see, oh, this was really working in the first half. Let's see if the team can stop it in the second half, or let's see what kind of adjustments are made. I want to see.
I get it. I'm really locked into the games I'm watching too. Every play.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
So I have to DVR. I have to just turn my phone off. I don't turn it on. Do not disturb. I don't turn it on vibrate. Like, it is completely off. So if you're trying to reach me, it will be off from the time the game starts until I stop watching the game, which is usually around like probably 9 or 10 o'clock at night for a 4:30 game. And it does have its advantages, because I've said before on the pod, like, you do get to fast forward through the commercials, and that's all well and good. But yeah, the feeling, it is a very strange feeling knowing, like, at 7 o'clock when we're putting them to bed, like, everybody on Earth knows what has happened in this game except for me. And it's just weird. It's a weird feeling to have.
All right,
so
let's figure it. There has to be other way.
DVRing it, unfortunately.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
And
we're going to figure this out.
We'll be catching up later in the day.
I don't accept this.
You don't accept it?
I accept your reason why you would decide, why you prioritize your kids and taking care of your kids over sports. That's a good thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But there has to be a different way, at least for playoff games. I mean, no. If there was a way, let's just say we came up with a way.
Okay.
And everyone's happy. Your kids are taken care of. Jenna's happy, and you're watching the game. Then you're good, right?
Yeah, it'd be good.
What do you mean? Yeah, like you had to
Yeah.
think about it.
Is
Why
this
wouldn't you
you?
be good?
Is this you offering to babysit while I watch the game?
This
is your way of
am
doing
not
it.
offering to babysit, but someone may. That's
Someone
option one.
may. It might be you. Come on, you have to take one for the team.
Do your kids like grandma and grandpa?
They do.
There you go.
I can't wait. I just hope that like one day like they'll just want to watch with me, you know. Actually,
Well, that's gonna
yesterday-
happen.
Yeah, I hope so. Yesterday my Ryan said like, so we were at my in-laws and Jen and I
there
had,
you go.
Jen,
that's where you're gonna be on Sunday.
We had gone out for a little bit and left them there, and when we came back, football was on TV, and Ryan said, he was like, "Daddy, look, football's on for you." I was like, "Thanks." It's not really
cool.
for me. It's not the Eagles, but
Who cares?
yeah, he's just
getting closer.
starting to say, yeah, like there's been a few times over the past. I think the first time was Thanksgiving, where he'll like look at the screen and be like, "Hey, like who are the purple guys that we saw the Ravens when the Ravens were playing on Saturday night?" I said, what's the purple team? And that's his thing. He'll see the color and say, "Hey, who are these guys? Hey, who are they?" So he's starting to become little bit interested.
All right, it's
in
getting
football.
there.
It's getting there. Yeah.
They're both going to be because they're growing up, or it's all around them.
Yeah.
They're wearing it all the time, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're gonna be.
All right. I hope so.
Unless they grow up New York fans just to rebel against you.
God, dude, don't even say it, man.
I'm gonna say that a lot,
dude. That is a very big fear of mine, dude. Like
that's the worst fear in life. There's
it's the
anything
worst
that could happen. Any bad thing that can happen to your kids,
right.
it's becoming a New York fan and rooting for and wanting Brian Cashman fired because he'll be the GM when they're our age.
That's right. Well, they'd grow up happy baseball fans, at least. You know?
Can't they do a sleepover at one of your parents?
Well, my parents live in Pennsylvania,
So no.
So no.
Oh, even better. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Or we'll drop them off in Morristown, man.
If I lived closer to you, I would do that.
Okay.
But if I lived within 15 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes, 15 minutes probably, I would do that. I would do that. I would do that for a friend, for sure.
Thank you.
I'm not offering because I don't live that close.
Yeah.
I didn't say within an hour.
Yeah.
You could do it. What about Super Bowl? What about the Super Bowl? What do you normally do for the Super Bowl?
So we had 2 years ago. It was right before Connor was born. Well,
no, not just for the Eagles Super Bowl. The Eagles aren't in the Super Bowl.
Oh, well,
last year.
What did we do for the Super Bowl? I can't remember. I just watched that game at home. So this will be the 4th Super Bowl that they're alive, that Ryan is alive for. And yeah, 2 of them I just watched at home, and then the one that the Eagles were in, we had a pretty big party, and I think we just put them to bed a little bit earlier. But I did get invited to a Super Bowl party, so maybe I would this year. So if the Eagles aren't playing, I might do that.
But how? They go to bed, I thought.
What'd you say?
How would that work out? The game starts at 6:00.
It starts at 6:40.
Okay,
and I would just leave a little bit earlier.
Wait.
Or I would just show up late to the party.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's ways to do it. There's other ways to do it, but you're getting closer to the best way to do it. which is for them to be watching with you.
Yeah, no, we are inching closer, which will be great, which will be exciting.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's not just exciting for you can watch the game. That's a really cool thing as a dad to do with your kid.
Yeah,
so.
totally. Yep.
Okay. All right. So I won't be getting your angry text during the game. I won't be getting your panicked text, and I won't be talking to you for pretty much the whole day. Why even just keep it off the phone off all day? Don't even get injury updates. Don't get updates about leading into the game. Don't know anything.
No, all that stuff's fine. I just don't want to know what happens on the field. Yeah, you got to know what's happening, like off the field.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Jets season. I don't want to spend that much time in this, man. Like, I've had
Just
a lot
end
of
the
people.
season.
I've had a lot of people ask me, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers? Should they bring him back? And until earlier today, when I was doing some prep for this episode, I haven't really put any thought into it, just because I've been so disgusted with this team, with this season, that it's hard for me to even think about it. I still haven't put enough research into it. So let me right off the bat just start with the Rodgers thing, because I know that's like the hot topic everyone wants to talk about. Who's the Jets quarterback? Do we bring Rodgers back? The number one thing about bringing Rodgers back is you have to let the general manager and the coach decide. You can't, and they're not going to. Woody Johnson's going to make the decision. He's going to hire the GM and the coach. First, it's all connected. It should all be connected. The GM should hire the coach. The GM and the coach should agree on the quarterback. But what's going to happen is Woody Johnson's going to make the decision. He's going to look to hire a coach who agrees with him or will adhere to whatever he says. And then he's going to hire a GM who will either agree or adhere to the coach that he hired and Rodgers as the quarterback. That's a chaotic organization, right? That doesn't seem like it's going to work. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Oh, so that's the Jets talk.
All right. I was going to say, great. So I guess he'll be back.
I think regarding Rodgers, I think it really depends on a couple things. One, obviously him deciding he wants to play, which I think he's going to. And then what are the other options? I'm not very familiar with the cap penalty of releasing him this offseason compared to potentially moving on from him the following offseason. I don't know what that is. And then also, how does the rest of the roster, like, what's that relationship like? Is Rodgers close to them? It's hard to know what's going on. Rodgers makes it seem like they're very close. Reports about Garrett Wilson threatening to leave if Rodgers is back. I don't really believe that, but who knows? I really don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But you have to let the general manager and the head coach decide who the quarterback is. And you have to let the general manager decide who the head coach is. You can't do it the opposite way. And they are doing it the opposite way.
Of course, yeah.
They're going to do it the opposite way, though. You saw the report about, you probably saw, a lot of people just took like excerpts from the report. Like the big headline is, Woody Johnson makes decision on wide receiver based on Madden ratings.
Dude, that story actually like made me mad.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, dude, there were people who thought in their heads that like this guy looks at Madden ratings and makes decisions solely based on. It's like, do you hear the story? Like, do you actually believe that this guy sits at his desk and just peruses Madden ratings and just says yes, no, yeah? Like, how dumb do you have to be?
No.
To believe this story? Like
that part
ridiculous.
Of the story is not true. It's not
true. But this is the New York media, man. I mean, if you can't hang, if you can't dance, you can't take the heat. Get out of the kitchen.
I read Very funny, man. Very funny.
Thank you.
Yeah. But there is an aspect of the New York media playing into this.
It's ridiculous. People
The
should
whole
feel
thing is,
shame about New York media, quote unquote. Like that is absurd. It's absurd.
what part of it is absurd? I'm not disagreeing with you. What part of it is absurd?
The Madden rating thing. Why is that a piece of a story when you know people are just going to say, "Oh, this guy
Oh
looks."
yeah, it's to get clicks. That's the headline.
Right, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Let's not let that take away from the actual story though. There's a lot of stuff in there that I do believe. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff about like Woody Johnson's kids being in the locker room and talking to the players and saying nonsense, and Woody Johnson going to like a kicker or a backup quarterback and saying you suck. Like I believe that. I believe that. I really do. I mean,
You believe that he went up to the backup quarterback and said, "You suck"?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's nuts. He doesn't he's like a he's like this he basically he has no idea how to run a sports franchise. That's the issue. He's dedicated. He wants to win. He spends a lot of money. I believe that he really wants to win, but he doesn't know how to run a sports franchise. And that is the main reason why the Jets haven't made the play. We're talking, oh, you can't watch the DVR, the Eagles playoff game. The Jets haven't made the playoffs since I graduated high school.
Oh my God.
I can't even, I was thinking
Fitz
about
magic,
this.
dude. Right?
What?
I said Fitz magic, right? Was that the last time they made
No, they didn't make the playoffs with Fitzmagic.
Oh, you're right.
They lost to the Bills. Yeah. The last time they were in the playoffs, 2010, they lost in the AFC title game to the Steelers. Rex and Sanchez.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Wow. That is fucking crazy.
2010.
Dude. Wow. Back-to-back AFC championship game appearances, man. Wow.
It's crazy. So, questions for the Jets. So, they went 5-12. Most disappointing season as a Jets fan that I've experienced. Who's the GM? Who's the head coach? We talked about how the line should be the owner hires the GM hires the coach, the GM and coach decide together who the quarterback is. That's not how it's going to happen. There's no point going further into that. That's why it's not going to work out. Some head coach ideas. I'm going to throw them out here. And for those of you that are going to listen to me say names and be like, oh, you forgot this name. Well, yeah, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of candidates there. All right. So, all right. Mike Vrabel, probably option number one. Ben Johnson, Lions offensive coordinator. Brian Flores, Vikings defensive coordinator. Rex Ryan, interviewing, as we're recording this, he's interviewing tomorrow.
No way.
By the time this is out, he will have already interviewed.
He will have already accepted the job.
Oh, my God. And then he'll be already deciding on who the GM is.
And the AFC Championship game is.
Same old Jets. Aaron Glenn was a really good Jets corner. Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson, your guy, recently fired. That was earlier today by the Jaguars.
Was he really? Oh, man.
Yeah. Damn. Arthur Smith, failed head coach with the Falcons. I would like him as an OC. I don't know about the head coach. Steve Spagnuolo. Kellen Moore.
Oh, okay.
Poach him from the Eagles.
Yeah.
I'm probably forgetting a lot of other guys, but Juan Rivera. He already interviewed. Very exciting.
Ron Rivera?
Yeah.
You said Juan. You said Juan Rivera.
Did I say?
Yes.
That's funny. Yeah. Ron. Ronald. Juan Soto.
Yeah.
All right. GM. I mean, there's a bunch of guys out there. This is just kind of, and like everyone just everyone just points to every name is just like, let's take this guy because he's not the general manager, but he's somewhat high up on this team that's successful, so he must be good. It's like, why do we think that he's going to be good just because he's on a staff that has a good team?
Right.
But let's go through it anyway. I'll start off with your guy. You might not even know who this is. Eagles assistant general manager. Do you know who that is?
If you say the name, I'll recognize, but I won't know it off the top of my head.
Alec Halaby.
No, I wouldn't know that.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Is that why? Because the Eagles are a good team that we think the assistant general manager is good at running running a franchise.
Yeah.
Lions assistant GM Ray Agnew, ex Titans GM John Robinson. He already interviewed with the Jets. Louis Riddick already interviewed with the Jets. When was the last time he was a GM? I mean, he's just been talking on ESPN nonsense.
I don't know that he ever was. He ever?
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah. Man, they're just going to get all ESPN hires. It's going to be Louis Riddick, Rex Ryan. Maybe they'll bring in Stephen A. Smith to be the defensive coordinator.
Oh my God!
Shannon Sharp, tight end coach.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, so let me rephrase what I said. Let me correct. He was a pro scout for 3 years, director of pro personnel with Washington for 3 years, and director of pro personnel with the Eagles for 4 years. So he wasn't a GM.
Okay. So I thought.
Yeah. So. Okay. He's an option. He's out there. He's a name. Who else? Ex-Falcons GM Thomas Dimitroff already interviewed with the Jets.
Brian Cashman.
I would love it. He could figure it out. Chiefs assistant general manager Mike Borgonzi.
Oh, you forgot someone for the head coach opening too.
I forgot a lot of guys for that coach, I'm sure, but who are you thinking about?
Aaron Boone.
Oh, no, he would only go to the Eagles.
Joe Torre.
Joe Torre, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, and then so this is the list I compiled. You got the Chiefs assistant general manager. You got the Chiefs senior director of player personnel. This is what I'm talking about. It's just people like, oh, this team's successful. Let's find the assistant, the assistant general manager, the director of player personnel. They must know what they're doing. Like, it's not how companies work.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what they're going to do at GM. How could a Jet fan really have confidence in this team?
You should not. You absolutely should not. I mean, one time you'll strike gold and catch lightning in a bottle, but yeah, to have faith that they're going to make the right decision and make a good hire, is doubtful. Unfortunately,
the thing is a good head coach won't be successful with the Jets in this organization. They've made some good hires. Todd Bowles is a really good head coach. He was not successful with the Jets because of the Jets, not because of Todd Bowles.
Right.
Okay. They have the 7th pick in the draft.
Oh, I can't wait to break down some potentials, man. Cannot wait.
Yeah. The Giants, let's touch on them real quickly. 3-14, one of the worst seasons they've had in their franchise history. You had to be loving it the whole time.
Loving it.
Eagles, I mean, the Eagles beat them with their backups. It's a joke.
Oh my God, they beat them with their 3rd and 4th stringers, dude. And they had all their starters out there. Dude.
It's a joke. 18 starters on the bench or not on the lineup for the Eagles. That's crazy. They won one home game all season.
Yep.
And then they bring their GM, Joe Shane, and their head coach, Brian Daboll, back. You're happy about that, I'm assuming?
Oh yeah, yeah. Long live Joe Shane. Long live the Shane Dable era in New York. Absolutely.
They have the third pick in the draft. I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to take a quarterback?
I mean, dude, if they are smart, like they're so bad.
So
Like,
bad.
dude, they lost to the Eagles' third and fourth stringers yesterday with their starters. So, like, if they, like, I'm not a big, you know me, I'm not a big fucking draft and, like, but, like, dude, they have to trade that pick and get more assets. Like, they're not a quarterback away from competing. Like, they are
They're not a
horrible
quarterback
at
away from
everything.
even winning 5 games.
That right, that's what I mean. Like, dude, they have two good players on their team, man.
um,
Two.
what two are you talking about?
Neighbors and Lawrence. And
I'll
that's
give them
it.
more than that. I'll give them more than that. I'll give you Neighbors and Lawrence. I'll give them Wandale Robinson. I'll give them
Oh,
Andrew Thomas, and I'll give them Tracy. I think he's a pretty good running back going forward.
Andrew Thomas, yes, I'll give you that too.
Okay. Anyway, the point is that even if you're going to give both of the guys I said, like what they have 4 or 5 good players that you believe in going forward on a 53-man roster.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Terrible.
got to trade back. They got to get some assets and they have to, they're
And
still a long ways away.
and you saw what their owner John Mara said. He
Yes.
basically said, yeah, he's bringing them back, and then like he was like, "What if this happens? This is if he's not happier than he is now at this time next year." Basically insinuating that like they better be much better next year, or they're going to
Yeah.
be fired.
Basically, he said something like he's running out of patience or something like that.
Yeah,
Something along those lines. Which, like,
running out
okay.
of patience, but it seems like he's being pretty patient by bringing them back.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if they do want to go a veteran quarterback route, whether they draft a quarterback or whatever they do, I would think that they might want to go with a veteran QB. There's some potential free agents out there. Again, like we talked about, the roster's not good enough where any of these guys are going to go in and be successful. Sam Darnold, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like, we talked about this when we talked about the Jones contract. Like, that was one of the big things when everybody said, well, what else are they supposed to do? It's like literally anything. Like, the fucking Buccaneers got Baker Mayfield for $4 million last year. Like, look what Sam Darnold's doing with the
Baker's good.
Vikings. Like, get anybody on who's
But it's not
like,
anybody.
get
The Bucks
someone.
got Baker, but Baker's actually good.
Well, he wasn't good at the time. That's why he only got a 1
Yeah,
year
and
$4
Sam
million
Darnold wasn't good
deal.
until this year. That's the
Right.
point. Is that it's not just get anybody. You have to get the right person that's the right fit for that team and that system.
But anybody is better than a shitty quarterback paying him $40 million a year. Like, it just is. So,
Well,
I
it's
mean,
over
you could
now.
get Marcus Mariota for $6 million next year. Like, do that.
Justin Fields,
Yes.
Jameis
Anyone.
Winston.
Anyone.
Would you
Just
overdrafting a rookie that you believe in and letting the rookie play?
yeah. Yeah.
Really?
I would because
It
again,
it is
you're
it is a
not
tough spot.
you're not a quarterback away.
It's a tough spot for a rookie to come in and be successful. Really tough.
Exactly. So you're not a quarterback away. And also, like, I don't know shit about the draft, but people say this is not a good quarterback draft class. So yeah, you might as well take someone who might be good. And then if you're bad again next year, then you get one of the better guys.
They will be bad again next year.
Yeah, great.
They're going to be bad. They're going to
Good.
be horrible. All right. Giants are a disgrace. Jets are a disgrace. For the podcast's sake, we need the Eagles to make a big run.
Yes, we do. For my mental health's sake, too.
Yeah, your mental health sake. Sake.
Yes.
All right. So something happened recently that is a big story in New York. Not a big story, apparently, because I brought it up to you. You had no idea what I was talking about. So it kind of ties into it. We did an episode early on, in the early stages of the podcast. We did like the future of sports and like sports media. And we talked about how like it's going away from cable, but the situation is like you have all these platforms that are streaming game broadcasts, and you need to have a subscription to each one, and it's really annoying. You went off about it. One of my favorite shorts that we have out there is you saying like about the Amazon Prime game or something. Sorry, I'm not watching. I'm sorry. Very funny.
Thank you.
So for Optimum subscribers, so if you have cable in my area, but a lot of like New York, New Jersey, Northern Jersey, Central as well. There's a couple options. If for those sports fans that want to watch live sports, you want cable. Typically, you're going to want some sort of cable provider. You have Fios as an option. You have Optimum is one of the more popular options. I have Optimum. Optimum and MSG Network couldn't come to an agreement, and as of January 1st, MSG was not on Optimum. So we're talking about a lot of Optimum customers who have the Optimum account for the reason of being able to watch live sports. That's like the main reason why most people that have cable still have cable, especially if you're, our age or under 40, 50, right? When you can't even figure out how to stream or download an app. So MSG covers the Knicks, who are obviously really popular and really good. The Rangers, who are obviously really popular. The Islanders, who are popular. The Devils, who are less popular. We're getting down the list of all these basically the entire New York, New Jersey, NBA and NHL, except the Nets, who are on Yes. So a huge issue because people are upset. So what are the Sixers and Flyers on the same network?
Yes.
What's the network called?
It's NBC Sports Philadelphia.
That's right. They're an NBC affiliate. Okay. Let's just say hypothetically, what do you have? What's your
I have Comcast. Yep.
Okay. Comcast and NBC Philadelphia failed to reach an agreement, and you can't watch the Eagles and the Sixers and the Flyers. Right now, you may not care that much. The Sixers are playing better, but what would your response be? What would you do?
I would probably just switch cable networks if that wasn't an option for whatever reason, like maybe contractually. I would probably illegally stream games, and if that wasn't an option for some reason, then I guess I would just have to bite the bullet and get like League Pass or something like that.
But you can't. No, League Pass wouldn't work. So if you're in market and you have League Pass or Center Ice or whatever, you can't watch your teams in market. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They blocked that in market because the reason is because they don't want to step on the toes of the regional networks.
Right, but you could watch the away team's broadcast.
No, it's blocked out.
You can't?
No, you can't. It's blocked out.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not an option. So for this specifically, a couple things are happening. First, I'm going to do something that I notice, and this kind of ties into my view on life in general. When something annoying or frustrating happens, what do people do?
Blame things.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's angry, and I see this on Sports Talk Radio. I see it on all podcasts, like really popular Knicks podcasts that I really like and listen to, and they're saying how Optimum is screwing the fans, MSG is screwing the fans. Everyone's angry. I can't. Billionaires and millionaires, it's greed. I'm not saying that's not true, by the way. I think there's some validity to it. I think it's ridiculous that they can't come to an agreement, but by blaming and being angry at MSG or Optimum and both sides are trying to like pin it, blame the other one. I called Optimum. Optimum's like, explain to me what happened. MSG's trying to charge you for every game that you watch. Ridiculous. And MSG has on there like right before their contract ended with Optimum was, if you don't want to lose your Knicks and Rangers or your Knicks, I was watching a Knicks game. Go online or call MSG.com/Optimum. Some like don't lose MSG/Optimum. Some like ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, by blaming MSG, by blaming Optimum, by being really mad at the industry, the sports media industry, the atmosphere, the culture that we're in of like sports is on Netflix, sports is on Prime, sports like instead of focusing on what's the solution, people are blaming. And what it does is it prevents people from finding a solution. So what I did was, one, my initial thought was, all right, let's use this as a nudge to cut the cord. What are my options? Where can I get all my sports? And a couple of things. One, I thought about Fubo TV, and I signed up for a free trial. It has pretty much everything I need, except it doesn't have TNT. There's some pretty big playoff basketball games on TNT.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's some playoff hockey on TNT.
Too, yeah. March Madness, your favorite time of year.
They don't have TBS. They don't have because the Turner family, whatever networks.
Yep.
So yeah, and then baseball playoffs are on TBS also. So you don't have March Madness. So all right. So what am I going to do? That's not really a great option. Plus, Fubo TV doesn't have internet. I have the TV and internet package with Optimum. If I get rid of TV, what does Optimum charge you for just internet?
Right.
So then there's this other option. So, and this is part of the reason why MSG is not giving in. So MSG and Yes combined for an app called Gotham Sports App. You probably don't know about this.
I've heard of it, I think.
Okay. So they have MSG and Yes on the app, and you could subscribe for a year, a month. They also give the option to subscribe to just one, like MSG or Yes, through the app. So Optimum was doing this thing for their customers that are upset about losing MSG, where I don't know if they're doing this for all the customers. I assume they are. Why would I be special? So I'm assuming they're doing this for all their customers. So if you're an Optimum customer and you're listening to this and you haven't resolved this yet, I called Optimum. I explained that I wanted to get rid of my service because they lost MSG, and the only reason why I have a TV account with them is because of local sports. And they sent me to their retention department. So
nice.
So I get to their retention department, and I have to reiterate the same thing. And this person goes, okay, here's what we're going to do for you. We're going to give you a $400 credit, and then which you could use on the Gotham Sports app to get the games. And we're going to lower your bill $35 a month. And we're going to increase your internet speed.
Wow. Okay.
So I went from 300 why am I blanking? 300 Mbps, megabytes per second. Yeah. To 1G, so 1 gigabyte. Which is like, I'm downloading plans for to do like a takeoff for Windows today. The plans used to download it used for a big commercial project. It used to take like 5 minutes. It downloaded in like 10 seconds.
Wow.
A crazy difference. Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, I was ready to move on, but Why? I mean, I couldn't turn that. Plus, now I don't have to deal with the hassle. So you said, like, well, you change cable service. Yeah, I thought about doing that, like maybe going to Verizon Fios, but then you have to deal with one. You have to deal with the whole. You have to. There's a charge for like that setup fee. Then they have to come out. Then you have to have a tech come out, and it's just kind of annoying to deal with that. It's kind of a hassle. I really don't want to deal with it. So that's my solution. So I still currently have been watching the Knicks on Fubo TV with a free trial. I'm going to convert to Gotham Sports app. So Gotham Sports app for just the Knicks, it's like $23 a month if you pay for the yearly subscription, or it's $30 a month if you pay for monthly. Fubo TV is $65 a month, but I'm getting $100 in credit for the next 4 months, so it's $400 overall. So I could kind of keep Fubo TV and kind of, it pays for it, but or I just get Gotham. But the thing about the Gotham Sports app, and I haven't tried it on the TV, but I have used it on the laptop and the phone, because before this I would sign you in my Optimum account, and I think it's like 2 minutes behind. You probably don't care. As someone who watches an Eagles playoff game 4 hours behind, you probably don't care. But I also, I'm not going to turn my phone off because the Knicks are 2 minutes. The Knicks or Rangers are 2 minutes behind. But I'm going to have people messaging me about the game, and I'm going to be behind. There's something like, to me, I just enjoy obviously, no matter what TV broadcast you're watching, it's going to be a little bit delayed from what's actually happening at the arena.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't like being 2 minutes behind. I don't like that.
Yeah,
but
that's significant.
I'll have to get used to it until they come to an agreement. Now, something also about about this situation. So MSG knows that the cable business is a dying industry. It's a dying business. They rely on sports. So MSG has all the leverage.
Mm-hmm.
And they prefer people to cut the cord and subscribe to the Gotham Sports app.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to incentivize people to do that.
Yeah.
For Optimum, they need MSG. They need the local networks. But it's a dying business, so they can't afford to take a bad deal. They can't afford to raise prices to their customers. They're going to lose those customers anyway then. So it's a really tough situation.
Yeah, totally.
But I think at least personally, the solution I found is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah. Retention department retained you.
They did. They retained me.
Yeah.
And you know what though? If you focus on finding a resolution, you will find a resolution instead of focusing on blaming people and blaming one company against the other.
There you go.
There you go.
Life lesson. Yeah.
I brought it back.
There you go.
All right. We're not mocking fans on Twitter today. So fans are they're just not upset enough for you?
They're not upset enough. No, we'll get there. It's been a busy couple weeks, but we'll get some mockery going again.
Okay. We need to mock New York fans on Twitter.
We need to. You're right.
We need to.
I'm sorry, people, but we will get back.
All right. To make up for it, we usually do 1 or 2 subscriber questions. Today, we're going to do 3.
Let's do it.
All right. Subscriber question number 1 at Leon-H5F. By the way, before I even say his question, did you see this person's comment on our top 24 sports moments in New York and Philadelphia?
I did not.
2024.
No.
Let me pull this up because he had a comment on our video. And when I saw when this person messaged me on Instagram, I saw it. I was like, wait a second. I've seen this person before. All right, let me find it because it's a good one.
Good.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right. Can you see this?
Oh, yes.
This.
All right.
This top 24 list is awful. How do you have Soto signing at Soto signing at number 1? That should be number 24. Paul George signing with the Sixers is a top 24 moment. Who cares? He's washed.
Nice.
So that's this person.
Okay. Great.
All right.
Yeah.
So he listens to our episodes. I don't know who this
Love
is.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Leon-H5F, we appreciate your dedication to the pod. We hope this episode, you enjoy this episode as much, and you made the subscriber questions. Do either of you want Jimmy Butler for the Knicks or the Sixers? You go first.
Well, Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite 76ers over the process era. That team was the best Sixers team over the last 20 years or so. That was the team that came within the
Kawhi.
infamous Kawhi Leonard buzzer beater of making it to the Eastern Conference Finals and potentially winning the finals that year. That team was really good. Yep. I love Jimmy Butler. I love everything about him. I would not want this version of the 76ers to trade for Jimmy Butler. If I could just pluck him and trade him straight up for Kelly Oubre, yes, I would do it in a heartbeat. But there's just
the only
so
realistic
many.
thing would be a Paul George trade, which Paul
Right.
George can't even be traded because of when he was signed anyway.
He can
It's not
be
a realistic
traded.
situation.
So I think he could be traded later in the month. But I think Paul George fits much better with what the 76ers are trying to do. I think he's a little bit of a better defender. I just think he's a much better catch and shoot guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he's just a little bit more willing to do the, not the dirty work, but he's willing to play his role with the Sixers more, whereas Jimmy needs the ball a lot more. He's certainly very ball dominant, and
It's not even that he's ball dominant; he's personality dominant.
Right. Well, he's both, but he definitely wants the offense to run through him for good reason, because he's had really good success throughout his career.
For bad reason, an offense shouldn't be running through Jimmy Butler.
Well, that's what he thinks, but I personally would want I want the offense to run through Maxey. He's been playing pretty well. Probably not as good of a season as we had hoped.
Embiid.
Well, right, but I'm saying ball in hands, distributing, playmaking.
Okay.
I want it to go through Maxey.
Maxey's a better player, at least offensively, than Jimmy Butler right now.
Yeah. But I know you've.
Here we go.
You don't subscribe to the lore, but I certainly
playoff
do.
Jimmy.
Playoff Jimmy, man.
Couldn't
Me
stop
playoff
Kawhi
Jimmy.
from making that shot.
Well, whatever. But yeah, so that's my answer. I love Jimmy Butler. He's a little too old, little too expensive, little too, not a very good fit to what the 76ers are trying to do, but I think he's great. I think he can still play at a really high level. I think he's got some good, maybe another year or two of good basketball left in him, so you're definitely going to obviously be overpaying for the last couple years of his prime here, and the contract won't look good by year 3. But yeah, I don't think the 76ers should trade for him, even though I love him.
Even if you could just do a Paul George for Jimmy Butler trade straight up.
No.
Not doing it.
No, I'm not doing it. I just think Paul George
is not the right fit.
Not the right fit, no. And I think Paul George is a little bit better. Paul George has looked very good this year. Like, I know his numbers aren't there, but just physically, he hasn't lost.
His numbers are
bad. I know they're very bad, but it's weird. Even the catch and shoot stuff isn't where it should be, but he looks really good. Like, he can still get by guys. He can still create space. He's still defending at a really high level. His shot,
he's just not making shots.
His shot's not going down, and he hasn't been finishing at the rim as well as I'd like to. And also, he's still figuring it out. Like, he's still kind kind of stands in the corner off a little more than
I've been
you'd
watching
like.
a lot of the Sixers recently.
Yeah, I think that they will figure it out. The three have only played like less than 10 games together.
I know, it's crazy.
So I think they will figure it out.
I recently saw their game. I saw the fourth quarter against the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious loss.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I saw
The
their
Warriors.
first half against the Warriors. You probably were
Horrible.
sleeping.
Horrible. Yep.
And then I saw on and off throughout the game, a good portion of the game against the Nets.
Okay.
My takeaway from them is that they seem, the big three seems to be specifically Paul George, but they like little tentative trying to figure out how to play together. It's more like I'm seeing a lot of like this possession's Paul George, this possession's Embiid, instead of working off each other.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's a good observation.
Okay.
So you're out on Jimmy Butler. You just
I don't want Jimmy Butler on the Knicks. I don't want Jimmy Butler on the Knicks. One, it doesn't make sense from a cap. It doesn't even make sense. So it doesn't make sense from a salary cap perspective. It doesn't make sense from a luxury tax perspective. It doesn't make sense from a trade perspective. It doesn't make sense from a stylistic perspective because Jimmy Butler's personality in that locker room, I don't know. Like that, he's too strong of a personality. And he's already destroyed Cat. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So and it's not Josh Hart's not the right personality for him. The whole team's not.
Yeah.
And then they pace in space and they space the floor and Cat shoots threes and Brunson shoots threes and Bridges and OG shoot threes and Deuce McBride shoot threes and Jimmy Butler's not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Knicks already have guys that are good in the mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
Brunson might be the best mid-range offensive player in the league. Bridges is also up there. So it's not a good fit stylistically. It's not a good fit locker room style. And I don't even like Jimmy Butler. So there's also that. I don't believe in playoff Jimmy. I think that's nonsense. And he's also not the player he once was either. So no interest.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not even slightly concerned that it's an issue because the Knicks have no interest also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And it wouldn't work anyway. So, okay. But good question. It's an interesting situation, the Jimmy Butler situation.
I know. Yeah. He's doing it again.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I don't even know where he's going to go. It's some desperate team's going to say, okay, we'll take a chance.
Yep.
All right. At Sarah J. What's the biggest concern for the Eagles heading into the playoffs? Offensive consistency, defensive depth, or coaching decisions? Not sure about the defensive depth. Is that just like an injury related? I'm not sure what that aspect is.
Yeah, I actually think they have pretty good depth on defense. They may be a little thin on the defensive line, so that's definitely a little bit of a concern.
Okay.
Biggest concern I have too. I think the kicker has really struggled this year, and he's been very reliable his entire career.
You don't want to name him by his name?
Jake Elliott. Yeah, I guess I don't know why. That was kind of weird for me to word it that way, but yeah, not very good this year at all. He at one point, I think he ended up making one, but at one point he was like 0 for 6 of 50+ yard field goals this year, which is not good, obviously. And he's missed extra points and like playoff games, man. They're a lot of times they're really close. You know, they're mostly like one possession games. So
you're going to need him to he at some point, if he's missing extra points, he can lose or chip shot field goals. He can lose a game, end the season for the Eagles. And there will likely be a situation if they're going to go to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, he's going to have to kick a really big field goal late in the game.
Sure, totally, yeah. Which is crazy because he's been really good, especially he's made very big kicks in his career. This year he's fallen off a cliff for some reason. So I would say that mixed with the slow starts, I still, they have been picking it up a little bit as of lately, like in the first quarter, but I still just would like to see a little bit more consistency in the first quarter specifically, like come out the gate, put a nice drive together, put 7 on the board and see what happens.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I think. What about coaching decisions, though? You've had an issue with Sirianni
I
being overly
have.
aggressive. You described it as being aggressive for the sake of being aggressive.
Yeah, I haven't seen as much of that lately. So we'll see. But I mean, that's definitely something to be concerned about for sure.
But they should be aggressive and not let Jake Elliott lose the season.
It's a tough it's a tough it's a tightrope.
Yeah.
High wire act.
All right. Last subscriber question to wrap up the episode at Will F. If this incident happened today, let me provide context. This is regarding the Eagles fans booing and throwing snowballs at Santa Claus episode that we posted week of Christmas. At Will F. If this incident happened today, would social media make it a bigger deal or would it fade faster? I'm going to answer this one first.
Yeah.
Both. It will be big. It would be bigger right away. And like everything else now, because of social media and because of just the way our society acts, we move on to the next thing really quickly. We don't spend a lot of time on one incident. So it would be if it happened today, it'd be a lot bigger for like a couple days. Everybody would be talking about it. It'd be a huge deal. It'd be really annoying how much people would be talking about it. And then something else would happen and everyone would forget about it. We'd move on. It'd be over.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I think you'd have a couple alternate camera angles of people debunking the myth, on social media today. So yeah, I think
You
that's
have
pretty.
Photoshop stuff. You have
Yep.
AI videos.
Yep. So good answer. I agree with you.
All right. So Eagles wildcard game, Packers. We will be on next week. We'll break it down. Hopefully we're going to see you happy, man.
I hope so. You'll be happy too.
I will be.
Good.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Please give us a like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.